What's up, everybody? It's game week 8 done. Coming up to game week 9. Luckily, I survived the hurricane, and we're back here streaming. Even a hurricane is not stopping the stream unless it puts the power out very soon, and then, well, then we're screwed. But it looks good for me. The hurricane's kind of been and gone. It's quite noisy outside. You might hear that through the mic, but it's just a bit of wind. It ain't so bad. How is everybody today? Quite a few high scores going around, quite a few low scores as well. One of my friends scored like 24 points. Awful. Bloody Jamie Vardy not doing anything for me again. I've still never had a goal from Jamie Vardy in all my time playing FPL. I knew this would happen. That third striker spot is really doing my head in. We'll come on to that later. Well, I haven't done bad, to be honest. Done really good this week. Got a pretty high jump in rank. I'm on 70. I'm going to finish on 72 for the week. So, I can't complain too much, to be honest. Damn, Adam Lamb up to 7k overall. Awesome. Mark went for Abraham instead. I talked about Abraham, didn't I? It would have been basically Vardy, Abraham, or a formation change for me. But to be honest, I probably would have gone 3-5-2, which meant I would have kept Mkhitaryan, which done nothing. So it was pretty awful all the same. Yanks, $1 already. Remember, man, if you add them all up, don't do what you did last. Well, you can do what you did last time if you want. You can add them up and put a message or something. Good wild card for you. Was that to me, Lee? I haven't wild carded. That's my that's just my team. Still, wild card is safe and secure in my back pocket, just where I like it. So even better, to be honest. Scoring 72 and not having to use the wild card, perfect. Like I keep saying about Atsu, he's only 5 million. He doesn't have to score you great points every week. And there he goes again, getting 3 points. Sorry, 5 points. Got on the assist, sorry. And now he doesn't have to assist again for a few weeks. I may never use the wild card, it's true. I have to thank everyone that kind of pointed me towards Tom Carroll. I wasn't really, you know what I like. You know what I think about Tom Carroll. He gets a bit annoying, but can't complain this week, to be honest. I think that's going to happen with him. As soon as he gets any kind of return, he's going to be up there on the bonus. No, actually, he's not going to come on, no, but I played Carroll ahead, so I'm not going to complain about that. No haircut. I knew people were going to say that. No haircut, just no gel. I had it as well earlier in the week. I had my captain on Jesus. I switched to Kane, especially after that brace again last game, but he's just not doing it at home. I'm a bit worried, to be honest. Now, I think there's an argument to be made to get rid of him. I think if Morata's fit to play in the Champions League, I might look at him. I'm a bit wary of going Aguero, Jesus, and Sterling. I'm a bit wary of going Aguero in general, to be honest. If he's, you know, Man City did so well without him. He's just coming back from injury. Could get Aguero in. I don't want to get Lukaku because after Huddersfield, it's really bad. So I may just end up keeping Kane and probably banking a transfer, to be honest. Or maybe switching Sutner out. We'll see. No, actually won't come on for Davies. Sutner will. Can't play 2-5-3. Yeah, Foster out. I don't know what his injury was, to be honest. I haven't seen any news on that. No, I'm not going to get Hatsu's points. But that's fine, because Carroll got 8 points, so we're not bothered about that. I was never going to bench Salah. Is doubling up on Sterling and Silva a risk? I don't think so. Potentially now Aguero's back, someone's going to start missing out, maybe Sane. But Sterling has as many goals as Aguero and Jesus. For like 8 million, or 8.1 is he now? Yeah. I mean, that's impressive. And City just looks so good. It's just not fair how good De Bruyne is right now. His passing is incredible. Hazard's going to have to do a lot, because people still rate Hazard pretty highly. He's going to have to do a lot to overtake De Bruyne now. Would you sell a Liverpool double up? Sell a Liverpool mid to double up on City attack? I don't know, because the likelihood is that the Liverpool attackers blank again in the next game. But I think their fixtures are quite good, so I'm keeping Salah. I'm quite happy to keep him. Obviously, yes, having Silva or Sane along with Sterling would have been great for me this week, but I think I'm going to keep Salah. I can't believe how much patience I've got this year. People looking at like getting rid of Eriksen, I think is just crazy. That man is delivering every other week, literally. I know he's a bit more expensive than the City midfielders, but at some point rotation is going to come, surely. Yeah, I think Lee makes a point there that Liverpool are going to attack Spurs, which might help Kane. I don't think I can get rid of Kane, but what I do think I can do this week is not captain him. I'm currently looking at captaining one of my Man City boys instead. And it's on Sterling currently, because with Aguero back, I don't know about Jesus' minutes. Now, he didn't even get the full 90 against Stoke. But obviously they were battering them. He'd already had 2 goals, so it wasn't that much of a problem. I might captain Sterling this week. Is that crazy? The problem with Burnley is they don't usually get battered. Like, City aren't going to put 6 or 7 goals past them. Yeah, exactly. That is the other problem. No matter which Man City player you got, you're still thinking they're gonna miss it. I just don't really want to captain Kane, if I'm honest, and I don't really have another good choice. I've thought about bringing Lukaku in for Kane, but that's just a 1-week transfer. Then I definitely want Lukaku out. What I really want is Morata to be fit, and then I would seriously look at Kane to Morata. But I don't know. I've made some money on Kane. Is he going to start dropping in price? Yeah, there is 5 polls in the top right hand corner if you want to vote on them. So, game week 8 points, game week 9 captain. Early look at that. Are you going to triple up on Man City? Is it time to sell Lukaku, and can we really sell Kane? Burnley will shut up shop. I mean, they do that every week, to be fair. Will I admit that I got Sterling as coverage? Nope. Jeff Holt with a £2 donation. Cheers, buddy. You've got to ask a question, though. I know you have one. I got Sterling. It was a last-minute call, to be honest, because I wanted Silva. And, or maybe even Sane. I wasn't nailed on one. And then I couldn't afford him, basically. And I let Sane rise in price. So I could have got Sane on Friday night, but I just let him rise in price. And then it was just a straight-up choice. Would Mkhitaryan or Sterling score more? And Sterling already scored 5 goals. I just thought if he played, my worry was Burnley, really, that if he didn't get anything against Stoke, that Burnley would shut up shop, as they do. The City aren't going to batter Burnley, I don't think. Although betting against City scoring goals is a bit ridiculous. But yeah, then I thought I need Sterling to get his points this week, probably. I thought he's got to be better than Mkhitaryan, so just went for it. I mean, you could argue that you can cover Man City attack by just getting any of their players, but they are really an anomaly. Just because all their attackers are good options. Apart from, but then again, you're not looking at Fernandinho, so I wouldn't say all their midfielders or attackers you can cover. Although some people are looking at Fernandinho. Mr. Inferno6 on Twitter made a good case for getting Fernandinho, got him in, bam, he scores. That's impressive. Playing around with free hit can play Elliott, Van Dijk, Bertrand. Okay, so going big on Southampton. Free hits. I'm too cautious to even think about playing a free hit right now. Even though people have been doing so well with it. I don't think I am going to triple on Man City attack, to be honest. I don't know if I want Aguero. I probably do want Aguero, but I've got Jesus and I don't really see a reason to get rid of him. The Twitter handle of the guy that got Fernandinho, I think it is just Inferno. Yeah, Inferno6. Hang on, I'll put it in chat. City can't stop scoring, that is true. Should you keep Ali? You already have Jesus, Sterling, Silva. I don't know about Ali. Not a big fan of him this year. I think Eriksen's the one to have. Fixtures are about to toughen up though, so I wouldn't be bringing him in, that's for sure. I mean, I'm not looking to get rid of Eriksen. But I think with Ali, it depends who you bring in. If you've already got triple City, then which midfielder are you bringing in? Maybe a Liverpool one, but you don't want to do that this week. Aguero and Jesus, are they least prone to rotation? I don't know, it's interesting now because City probably look the best they have all year, and let's be fair, they've looked pretty good for most of the season. But they probably look the best this week without Aguero. Well, will that stop Pep from playing him? Probably not. We will have to see in Champions League, I suppose, what happens. But I mean, it did look early on that Aguero and Jesus were probably the most nailed, and you know, someone like Sane was going to miss out. I mean, Jesus could. I don't think he's going to get another rest. I mean, he just had one. It seemed unlikely he's going to get another one. Now, he might not be the lone striker now up front. Yeah, that is true. City did this last year. They started blowing teams away and then just went off the boil. I don't know. They got such squad depth this year. I know they've usually got a pretty good squad anyway, but this season, I think they're just a step above in every department. What am I doing with Foster? I'm just going to keep him. I think my plan was to play Elliott the next few weeks anyway. I think I can get away with Elliott for the next 3 weeks. And then I'm probably going to wildcard anyway. In game week 12, I reckon. So yeah, I'm going to keep Foster mainly because I don't want to necessarily waste a goalkeeper transfer right now. And I can just play Elliott, and that was the plan anyway. But on wildcard, I'll get rid of Foster. I just hope he doesn't drop too much in between. Dale, Matthew, how's it going? Green text for sponsors appears on both YouTube and YouTube Gaming. That's nice. I actually got another sponsor over since we've been offline. I don't know if I can find their name though. I'm hoping they'll join the stream. I should give them a shout out actually. 4th sponsor now. Alexander Hager. Thank you very much. Hopefully he'll be in the chat soon. Burnley conceding lots of shots. Don't they always do that though? Who am I thinking of replacing Foster for on wildcard? Probably Fabianski or Pope, maybe. It depends how long Heaton's out for. I don't know if we got too much news on that. A little bit of everything with the €2. Who's that in your little picture? Can I see who that is? Is that just you with an Irish flag? No. Anyway. Some foot card. Lukaku, Kane, Vardy, Hazard, too big. Messed up. No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think you've gone too big, but the problem is now Kane looks a bit dodgy. Lukaku doesn't really score against the big teams. He's actually perfect in that we know when he's going to score. So after Huddersfield, it's not looking too good for Lukaku. Vardy, I hate that guy. Vardy and Costa, seriously, in FPL, me and them just do not get on. But I think let's not give up hope on Vardy yet. He's got a couple of nice fixtures. He's already scored well this year. And Hazard, I think for 10.5 million, there's much better value in midfield. I think people are getting Hazard because they want someone at Chelsea, not because they necessarily think he's the best option. I think Morata is a better option than Hazard. Fill out your midfield spots with like Eriksen, Salah, Coutinho, any Man City mid almost. And then get Morata maybe up front. What to do with Davis? Lad is getting frequently rotated. So he was ill apparently, rather than getting rotated. But cheers for that, a little bit of everything. Appreciate it. I think he was ill, so he didn't really get rotated necessarily. I mean, it's just annoying that it's happened twice in the last few weeks. The fixture's getting tougher. Look, if he plays, I'm happy to own him. But Rose has apparently travelled to Madrid, so if Rose gets any sniff of minutes, then we have to start to consider getting rid of Davis, I think. But for now, I'm not worried about him too much. Let's see how Rose plays out. Early thoughts on transfers this week. I actually think I might save. I'll show you what my team looks like for this week. I think there's a big chance that I just save. So this is my team for this week. I mean, I am pushing it a bit with like Sutner and Long on the bench. Like Long fell in price, so I am losing a bit of money. Yeah, the Hurricane was bad in parts in Galway, just not where I am. I think I got away with it, to be honest, being so far from the main coastline. Like, it was windy out here. Quite noisy. You know, a bit of rain, but to be honest, by like 3-4 PM in the afternoon, the sun was out. Like, in the coast, it was coming up over the wall. Oh, the water was coming up over the walls. And the main road I drive to in the morning to get to work is flooded, and it'll be closed tomorrow, which is annoying, but there's another way in which takes usually no extra time. Obviously, it'll be busier tomorrow now, but so yeah, I did alright with the Hurricane, to be honest. The power, I got out of the shower and the power flicked off and flicked back on, and that was the worst we had, to be honest. It's a bit of an anti-climax, but that's a good thing. Other people had it much worse, like roofs coming off. Obviously, a couple of people, you know, had accidents through with trees, which was sad. But overall, I think it is better than people thought it was going to be. How's it going, Shawnee? Davis catches a cold a lot. Yeah, maybe there's more to it. I don't think Salah is worth his price anymore. Coutinho looks a lot more lively. Oh yeah, I went out and washed the windows. That's true. That's how bad it was. I even had time to go and wash the window. You don't think Salah is worth his price? Yeah, sorry, Salah's worth his price. Do you know what, you might be right. Coutinho might be a better option, but I'm still really happy with Salah. Now, it is annoying that he's blanked twice. But one of those games was Man United, and he's got Spurs, so I'm not expecting any points there. But after that, it's Huddersfield, West Ham away, and Southampton at home. I think there's points coming. He has had chances. Now, I know he needs... The problem with Salah is he needs a lot of chances to convert one. But... I don't know, I do think he's decent. He's going to put those chances away eventually. So I'm keeping him, to be honest. Who do I swap him for, I suppose? Apart from maybe Silva, there's no one who really jumps out at me as absolutely having to sell Salah for. I know it's boring, but I've had so much patience with my team this year. And I just think I'm going to keep that patience with Salah. If there was someone, you know, like I say, jumping out at me, Mahrez, no, not happening. Gabbiadini, oh, let's not talk about Gabbiadini. Swear to God. How's it going, Jamie? Yeah, no, the worst of the storm's gone now. It's pretty noisy. It's probably about as noisy now as it was at the worst early this afternoon. But honestly, it's barely where we are. It's barely even moving the bins, to be honest. Let alone doing any damage. And I got enough power to stream, which is good. I was a bit worried. I was a bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to come online and tell you all that I got 72 points this week. Imagine what a nightmare that would have been. I'm on... Someone asked about my rank. So before tonight, I was on 111k. So I've gone up from 448k to 111k. So not quite in the top 100k, but not far off. And I've got Sutton coming off the bench with 2 points, and I had Vardy's 2 points tonight. So once auto subs kick in, I'll get an extra 4 points. I'm probably going to fall a little bit more, but not too much, because it's a 1-1 draw with, do you know what I mean, Mahrez and Chadley scoring. It's not going to affect the ranks too much, I'd say. Richarlison or Choupo-Moting is great for value. Richarlison's not getting banned, they've already said that. They don't consider the case or something. I mean, Choupo-Moting, I mean, they've got good fixtures now, so we'll see how he does. I am looking at Richarlison myself, quite like him. But again, if I downgraded Kane, I could afford Atsu to Richarlison, but I'm not really looking at that too much. I think I don't know, Vardy might go eventually, we'll see. Depends when I actually end up wildcarding. Yeah, Zaha at 6.7 million does look good. I mean, he looked good against Chelsea. He can blow hot and cold, that guy. But it's a nice price. I mean, I looked at him when he was 7 million, so I'd definitely look at him again. Especially if he's going to play up front and do well. Can I have some help? I'm 2 millionth in the world. Always captain the wrong person. Well, we'll get to that point. Or selling someone that scores. Gotta have some patience. When I see people like on Twitter saying they've sold Gross just before he scored, and they've sold Richarlison just before he scored, and they've sold Choupo-Moting just before he scored, and that's like one person buying all those midfielders. I mean, they're only like 5 million, 6 million. Why are you selling them so quickly? I think I said it earlier in the season, with those price midfielders, you've got to give them time. They're that price for a reason. They're not going to score every week. You don't need them to score every week, big every week. It's never going to be profitable, I don't think, to use your transfers to rotate those cheap midfield positions, to be honest. And here's an example why, right? So, let me see. So, Eriksen's 9.7 million. Alright, so I'm working this out on the fly, so this is going to work out wrong, but let's just have a look. So, 19... 22, 30, 39, 42, 45, 56 points. I don't know why I'm adding it up when it freaking says on the screen that he's got 56 points. 8. So what's that? 7 points a game, right? 8 fixtures, 7 points a game, yeah. And he's nearly 10 million. And he's got 7 points per game. So if you've got like a 5 or 6 million mid that's getting you like 3.5 to 4 points a game, then that's fine. They don't need to be scoring any more than that. So if they only get an assist every few games, remember they're still getting like 2 points a week regardless. So they've only got to add a couple more to that on average. So I wouldn't be transferring out those midfielders week to week. Like people get them in, they don't score for 2 or 3 weeks and then they're panicking. It's just not worth it. Seven points per game is really good though, by the way, for Eriksen. That's what you got to think. Eriksen's on 7 points per game. He's nearly 10 million. We're happy with that. So therefore, if the player's nearly half the price, then you should be happy for about 3.5 points, maybe 4 if they're 6 million, 5.5 million, something like that. That didn't quite work out exactly, but you get what I'm trying to say. Hopefully, I've got Atsu 5 million. He's nearly half what Eriksen is, so I only need half the points. Would you double up on defence? Which defence? But yes, I was doubled up on Southampton. No. Yeah, I think I was doubled up on Southampton earlier in the season. Stevens and Bertrand. So absolutely, if they look good for clean sheets, I don't really want their attackers, and they got decent enough fixtures and they're well priced, then sure. I definitely wouldn't be doubling up on Southampton now though. If you can't keep the captain on Kane, is he worth keeping? That is always the big question with him. And to be fair, when are you going to captain Kane over the next 4 weeks? Crystal Palace at home, maybe? I honestly think there's a good... The thing is, and a lot of it comes down to wildcards sometimes. If you haven't got your wildcards, you really want to be getting rid of Kane just to get him back. Probably not. And given that he can score, and he has scored at Wembley already this season, you know, Liverpool are probably going to attack Spurs. You probably want to keep. But if you've got a wild card still, can you risk it and get him back on like game week 13? West Brom at home, Leicester away, Watford away, Stoke at home, Brighton at home, and just see if by then he's actually scoring at home or Wembley. Maybe you get him back then. Oh, okay. I mentioned that I might have got Fabianski and wildcard. Would I keep Norton as well? I wouldn't double on the Swansea defence, I don't think. I'd probably... Somewhere in there I need to get a Burnley defender. So I'd either go Pope and Fernandes. I wouldn't keep Norton. Or I'd go Fabianski and Ward or Fabianski and Ben Mee, something like that. I got 72 points. Last year you got rid of Kane the week after he scored 4 goals. No, I got rid of him the week after he'd blanked 2 weeks in a row. And then he went on to score really well. The weekend highlighted that Daniels is a must. What did Daniels do? Did he just look good? I didn't see the game, to be honest. But yes, on wildcard I'll be looking at Daniels. I think the fixture swing is good for when I'm looking at wildcarding. Game week 11, game week 12. Man United have better fixtures. Daniels looks good. Atsu fixtures look bad then. So maybe I will go for a different midfielder at that point. Kane out's got to be a live transfer, right? Oh, I don't know. Could I really transfer Kane out? Transferring Kane out is just asking for trouble. But Morata's looks so good. Do you keep Davis and Trippier? Wait for the Champions League, see what happens. But at some point, Aurier and Rose are going to play. Especially Aurier. What would I do if I was sitting on Lacazette? I mean, Arsenal are rubbish. They're just rubbish. I'd be tempted to keep Lacazette for 2 more weeks. Depends who else you got up front. But they got Everton away and then Swansea at home. Not the worst fixtures. After that, I definitely look to get rid. Because then they got Man City away, Spurs at home, not great. Even Burnley away is not good for them. Huddersfield at home is okay, and then Man United at home, they just ain't scoring many over that run, I don't think. The best thing you need is a Kane injury. Nah, Kane injury would be rubbish, to be honest. Because once he gets injured, it just makes it easy for everyone to get rid of him. What you want is for him not to get injured, to transfer him out, that to be the right decision, and everyone else holds on. So it's a bit like Lukaku now. Jesus worked better than Lukaku this week, and it's great because I planned that a while ago. The problem is, the weeks before that didn't go so well. But now, Lukaku and Kane owners are in a really tricky situation because it's very hard to ship Kane, and if you've kept Lukaku this long, it's very hard to ship him before Huddersfield, even though Jesus or Morata might be a better option. So Lukaku owners are probably going to be tempted to keep this week. And to be fair, I probably would too, but it might not work out too well. So definitely don't want a Kane injury. It was like last year, I got rid of Aguero. A bit like when I got rid of Lukaku this year, I got rid of Aguero to fund... Basically, I think it was... I had Aguero and someone, rubbish. And I bought in... who did I bring in? Ibra. Well, okay, fair enough, yeah. Me and Ibra. But you know how that went last year. Ibra and Sigurdsson, something like that. Basically like a better partnership, double up. And it did well straight away, but then Aguero went and got injured, so everyone could get rid of him. So it's nice to actually make the choice, and everyone else has to try and make the choice too. You know, sometimes you'll get it wrong, like I did with Lukaku and Gabbiadini to Firmino and Jesus. It didn't work out long term. It's worked out this week, but that's about it. I'll do much better off doing Gabbiadini to Abraham, but that's hindsight now. Doesn't matter. How's it going, Jansky? Sorry I'm late. Arsenal are rubbish is the first sentence I heard. It's also probably the most on point of the whole stream. Yeah, I mean it's not super insight to say that Arsenal are rubbish. Everyone can see that. Like, I hate jumping on the bandwagon for like knocking Arsenal, but from what we know, Sanchez was out because he's upset at Chile going out of the World Cup, and I know he probably is really upset. But come on, I mean he's going. Like, Arsenal should just sell him. Sell him in January, get some money. You're not going to come top 4 anyway. Thanks for the maths. It was really bad maths, but hopefully you got the point. You have Ali, Firmino, Vardy and Kane all blank. Knee-jerk to change but feel patience is a virtue. Would you keep all 4? To be honest, Firmino looked alright, to be honest. I actually thought I was going to get punished for selling him. Obviously, he would have had an assist, I think, for Wijnaldum when De Gea made that awesome save with his feet. I mean, if you keep Firmino, you're keeping him basically knowing he's going to blank in the next game. Like, that's not obviously a guarantee, but most people would say he's going to blank against Spurs. But after that, he could do well again. It's a tough one. For me, I got rid of him because he's not usually getting the full 90. Sturridge is always there now. Mane out affects him, although it also maybe means he plays more often because it's not so easy to rotate the other ones. So I don't know about Firmino. Depends if you've got any money to upgrade him, really. Kane, I've already spoke about quite a lot. Ali as well, I spoke about earlier. I prefer Eriksen. If you haven't got like a Liverpool mid after next week, or Man City mid, I'd maybe look at getting rid of Ali. But it honestly wouldn't be like an absolute must transfer either. So I think you're right. I think patience could be a virtue with those 4. Defenders regress this week. Will they make a comeback, especially the win-backs? I don't know if we discussed it on last week's Scoutcast, but they were saying before that there's been like an insane amount of clean sheets so far this year. Like way above what it usually would be. So you'd think that would probably regress. We'll see. But it was something like... I think they said it was something like 20 or so more clean sheets at this point of the season than was last year. So maybe they will regress. Wing-backs... I think the whole wing-back thing is blown out of proportion a little bit because everyone sees that Alonso's a wing-back and they assume that all other wing-backs will score the same as him if that's the position they play, but it just doesn't work like that. So I think going 4 or 5 at the back because a player plays on paper in the starting lineup on the same position as Alonso, but they don't play like that on the pitch. I think Davis is great value, for example. Kolasinac I did think looked okay, but again, now Arsenal just looking a bit shaky. I don't know if he's the best. I don't know if he's worth the cash. I got Norton in because he was a wing-back, and now he's not even playing wing-back. So, like, Fernandes is the better option than Norton. He's much better for bonus points. David De Gea, now that is an interesting one to bring up actually. He is on 40, is he on 49? Or did he get a bonus point? Now he's on 50. He's on 51 points, David De Gea. And what you need to do is go and add up the points you scored off your goalkeeper rotating. And for me, it's something like 25 points. I've scored half the amount of points David De Gea has just scored on his own. Now I think that's possibly worth 1 million extra. You just put him in goal, week in, week out. Man United will keep so many clean sheets. We only conceded like 25-ish goals last year. So again, even for Man United, probably going to regress at some point. We will obviously concede. We're not going to go the whole season keeping clean sheet every week. But I mean, there's also that thought that goes through my head, maybe we've missed it now. And they're going to dry up a bit. But seriously, like, that's an incredible amount of points. 52 points over 8 weeks. I mean, it's nearly 51 points over 8 weeks. It's almost as good as Eriksen. How many points did he score last year? He scored 100. Oh, only 136. That seems quite low, actually. Hang on. Let me do some more maths while we're here. Wow, that would mean if he's going to score the same amount of points, that would mean he's only going to score 85 for the rest of the season. So I don't think that's going to happen. So that would be under 3 points per game. That wouldn't be worth it. But you got to think we'll just get more clean sheets this year. Romero played a bit though. Did he? Was De Gea out at all? He was out at the start of the season, was he? Nah, Romero played twice. 2 games. I think De Gea played most of the season, to be honest. 3,150 minutes. Anyway, there was a lot of talk about going De Gea at the start of the season, so fair play to those that did, because that's ridiculous. Also the same as Phil Jones. Phil Jones is crazy value. I think people wrote him off before this run of fixtures, but I think defensively it was just crazy. Liverpool could have scored, sure, but I think when you got Matic and De Gea, you're always looking good for a clean sheet. I think they could get another 2 out of the next 3. Huddersfield away, Spurs at home, Chelsea away. I can see them getting, if they get a clean sheet against Huddersfield, then I think they could get, you know, if they don't concede like a scrappy goal or something. So I don't think Huddersfield are going to score in that game. Then yeah, 1 against Spurs at home, Chelsea away. It's not inconceivable. During the time they thought he was going to Real Madrid. No, that was the season before. That was Van Gaal. That was Van Gaal not playing him at the start of the season. Last year there was none of that. We'll do the polls. We usually do the polls after the hour mark, so give it another 10 minutes or so. We'll do the polls. Top right hand corner. Wait, no, it's over here, is it? Where are they? Like here? There's a little I button here. Hover over it or click on that part of the screen with your iPad and you can vote on the polls we have going right now. I think there's 5 altogether. And also, God, I can't believe I've said this already. Make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Nearly 300 people watching, only 57 likes. Let's get it to 100 soon. And obviously, if you're new around here, don't forget to hit subscribe. That'll let you know when I'm going live next. Up and over 5,500 subs now. On the way to 10k. Keeping Kane, their Wembley form is only temporary. But how temporary is it? Not captaining for home games, though. Fair enough, right? So that means you're going to captain for away games, which are Man United away, Arsenal away, Leicester away, Man City away. In the next 9 game weeks, they play 4 away games, and 2 of them are Man United away and Arsenal away. Now, their home games are incredibly good. So, if you think the form's only temporary, I mean, the home games, for example, over that same period, are Palace at home, West Brom at home. Oh, sorry, missed out Watford away. Okay, fair enough. But the home games are Palace at home, after Liverpool at home, Stoke at home, Brighton at home, West Brom at home, so it's tough. My maths logic, isn't it better to get defenders? Won't they have a higher average with clean sheet potential? Well, depends on the defender, I guess. I don't know if they've got a better chance just because they get clean sheets. I mean, yes, you could say that a 5 million defender is better value than Atsu, but I'd have to check a few 5 million defenders to see what their average has been so far. Actually, no, I don't even have to check, do I? I can just... what's Atsu on? Let's have a look. Atsu's on 29 points. So there probably are some 5 million defenders that are beating him. By quite a lot, I'd say. Like, Ward's on 43, he's much less. Yoshida on 36, he's just about beating him. So yeah, but I mean, that's quite fine margins though, so... I guess at that point you've either picked or you haven't picked the right player. I mean, my point isn't that defenders are worse or better options than midfielders. It's just that if you have got those cheaper midfielders in your team to save money else for spending elsewhere, just be patient with them. They don't have to score every week. Tips on getting into community management. Get into some communities. There you go. Get into some communities. Do some moderation work or something. Here's how I got into it is I basically became a moderator on Fantasy Football Scout and used that in my job application for an actual community manager job, and I went from there. There's a little bit of I don't know I don't know if you call that a tip, a boring story or what, but there you go, there it is. That's how I got into it, having never done it before. Thoughts on Burnley going forward, sitting on Brady? Brady just hasn't delivered really. I think Ward, I haven't checked the stats, but from watching a few Burnley games, Ward seems to be putting in some really good crosses from the left. When's the move? That could be really soon, to be honest. The developers are really pushing for us to get in there, obviously, because they want their money. Might even be ready. It's going to be ready basically in a week. So I don't know how long stuff will take after that, but I could be in there by December. Well, I almost certainly will be in there by December, which is pretty scary, but awesome at the same time. Actually, this is how my life's changed. I've gone from, like, I don't know, wasting money on video games to, at the weekend I went and bought a dining room table and chairs. Or a bench, actually. We've gone for a dining table, 2 benches, 2 chairs. Anyway. What are your thoughts on having to pick a manager in FPL as part of team selection? The scoring for the manager is linked to whether the team win, loses or draws. I don't know. I don't know if that adds much. I mean, would the manager have a value? Would that come out of your budget? I don't know. It'd have to have a value, wouldn't it? I'd have to see. It's hard to say that without seeing what all the rules would be. My instinct is it wouldn't add much to the game. I don't think it'd be that interesting. From now until Christmas, would you rather have Kane or Morata? Oh, that's... You can't make me answer questions like that. I'm just having a look now at Chelsea's fixtures. Now, there's a couple of away games in there in a row, but apart from that, they're pretty nice. You got to think, it's not just Kane or Morata, it's Morata plus over 2 million. There's a lot you can do with that money. For example, I could have... I don't know if I got... Maybe just about. I could have Jesus, Lukaku and Morata. So basically I could have Lukaku and Morata instead of Kane and Vardy. That could work out. That does mean having Jesus instead of Aguero, and I don't know if that's perfect either, to be honest. Jesus or Aguero? We'll have to see what happens when Aguero gets back, but before he got injured, Aguero looked like the better option. But to be fair to Jesus, apart from the first 2 games of the season, when he's played, he hasn't failed to get attacking returns. Now, he's not gone... he's not gone like big every week, but he's not got an attacking return every time he's played. Now, he did miss a week, which is annoying, but you'd hope that wouldn't happen too many times over the season. Maybe over Christmas, but that's going to happen to everyone, I think. Chelsea not looking good. I think they'll struggle in the league and have a good Champions League run. I'd like to see Chelsea a bit more with Hazard and Morata first. Jesus for Morata if he starts dropping Jesus. I don't think he's going to, though. I don't think Jesus is going to suddenly start getting dropped. He's his wonder boy. Calvert-Lewin as a budget striker for 5 million. He looks okay, yeah. When he's starting, but I mean, Everton are just poor overall. If Moses is out for a while, Zappacosta at 5.9 million. Will he definitely play, though? Did Azpilicueta not play right wing back a little bit, and then Rudiger or Christensen could play centre back? I don't know if Zappacosta is definitely going to play if Moses is out. Jesus is nice because he can easily be swapped out for an informed Morata. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. They basically got Jesus in this week as a placeholder for Morata. How can someone justify getting in anyone from Everton? Yeah, but Calvert-Lewin's only 5 million. He could almost be your bench fodder. Although then you are spending a bit more than you'd spend on like Loftus-Cheek or Tom Carroll. Money is tight still. Very tight, in fact. Don't forget to hit that like button if you are enjoying the stream. Nearly at the 100 mark, that is. And hit subscribe if you're new around here. We're going to be doing the polls in like a couple of minutes, so... I'll never get this right first time. Right here, somewhere. A little bit more to the right. Somewhere around here, there's a little eye. Click that. And vote on the polls. See how many people have voted so far. Yeah, just over 200 votes, so make sure to vote if you haven't already. Where am I in the world? I'm like 111k, maybe a bit higher now. Or maybe a bit lower, I should say. As in, my rank is going to be worse, is what I'm trying to say. Don't worry about Abraham, you've got Tom Carroll as coverage. Oh no. Let's not get into that. Should you keep Alonso or use the money to get Zaha? Alonso's just not good value for money. The problem is they've got some nice fixtures coming up and they've not really had that so far. I'd be tempted to keep him, especially if that money is just to get Zaha in. I don't know if that's a priority, but long term, or if you're wildcarding, Alonso's just not good value for money, I don't think. I just think defenders for less money could not equal his points maybe, but get close to it. And you can use that money elsewhere. Azpilicueta or Luiz, I don't think I'm going to go for Chelsea defence right now, especially with Kante out. And I don't know how long term his injury is. Let's have a look. Expected back the 4th of November. Okay, so he's potentially only out for a couple of weeks, but still not going for Chelsea defence right now. You still think Azpilicueta is the best value defender? Controversial. I don't think he is, to be honest. I still put Jones and Davis ahead of Azpilicueta. But I got some nice fixtures, so maybe he'll start coming up. Here's a good question. Why keep Kane, a 12.8 million striker, cannot score against Burnley, Swansea and Bournemouth? There'll be many other good options for captaincy during his away games. That's a good point, actually, right? Let's have a quick look, right? I mean, he's going to score at home eventually, but let's just say he doesn't. So, I mean, you're not going to captain him in game week 10 or 12. We've got a pen here. Hang on a second, hang on. So his away games are in 10, 12, 14, 15. I mean, 18's Man City, so we'll look at that. But over Christmas, 10, 12, 14 and 15. So I'm going to look at who else you could captain in those weeks. So this week, Arsenal player, probably not got anyone. Sorry, no, game week 10. You got Liverpool at home to Huddersfield. Chelsea are away to Bournemouth. So they're two options. Man City are playing West Brom away. Game week 12, Spurs away to Arsenal. So you're probably not going to want to captain him anyway. But I mean, he does okay in early fixtures and North London derbies, but still. Lukaku's got Newcastle at home. Liverpool got Southampton at home. That could be tricky. Man City, Leicester away. And Chelsea, West Brom away. And then 14, again, Man United, they got Watford away. Arsenal are at home to Huddersfield. Chelsea are at home to Swansea. Man City at home to Southampton. And 15, you got Chelsea at home to Newcastle. So Morata looks good, to be honest, to have. Where are Man City? Home to West Ham. So, yes. The long and the short is, you might not even want to captain Kane in those game weeks. Spreading the money, I don't know. I mean, let's just say... Hang on, let's just do it on screen. Hang on. You're captaining Kane next week, he'll break his curse. I mean, I actually might captain Kane because I'm just not sure I want to captain Sterling. Okay. Let's just say... Look at that. Let's just say I did. Get ballsy. Got Morata in. 2.7 million. So straight away, Atsu could become Richarlison. I could really upgrade my defence. I mean, I'm almost at another Man City mid there. Let's just say I want Richarlison. Not sure Richarlison is an upgrade over Atsu, by the way, but let's just say, for argument's sake, that's what I want to do. Thing is, I don't know how big I want to go at the back, because I can only play 3 of them each week. Actually, let's keep Atsu. Oh, look at that. So close to just getting Lukaku for 11.8. This is why I've not wildcarded, because I wouldn't be able to decide what I actually wanted to do. Anyway, I mean, I could get Morata, Richarlison, and still have 1.5 million to spend elsewhere, basically. Is the long and the short of it. But am I really going to get rid of Kane? I'm probably not. If I'm completely honest. But I'll definitely give it proper thought. Burnley should put up a lot more resistance than Stoke. Yeah, I agree, to be honest. I don't think anyone would argue against that. Polls, yeah, polls. Look at them now. Bringing them up. Before I forget them for another 10 minutes. Yeah, Morata, Lukaku and a City striker. That might be how I go, to be honest, because I want Lukaku back, I think, for the good fixtures. Yeah, we're going for an hour, so let's get those polls up. Chill out, people, chill out. Okay, so game week 8 points. 35% had 41 to 50. 30% 51 to 60. 15% 31 to 40. Only 15% was 61 plus. I was in that. Just in case you're interested. 3% got less than 30. Ouch. Game week 9 captain. 43% of you apparently are going to go for a Man City attacker. 28% of you are going for Lukaku. Lukaku's going to be really captain big again this week. Could punish me. Because I don't feel like I have a good captain this week. 18% saying Kane. 7% with Hazard or Morata. I kind of know that's probably more if Morata's back than actually captain Hazard. And 2% said someone else. Will you triple up on Man City? Here we go. I think this is a bigger question probably. 39% say no, a double is fine by me, so a double up is better. Well, not better, but that's what they're on. And to be honest, that's probably where I am right now. I'm happy with the 2 I've got. I'm probably just going to keep them. 24% said yes, but it's 2 attackers, 1 defender, which is interesting. I suppose Otamendi's on a lot of people's minds. 22% going for all attackers. 13% going for 1 or 0. And obviously nobody is going for 2 defenders and 1 attacker. It's fair enough. And then is it time to sell Lukaku? So 57% said after Huddersfield. I'm kind of on those lines, I think. 21% saying just sell him now. I mean, to be fair, we aren't looking as good without Pogba. And 20% said they're keeping him long term. And then can we really sell Kane? 59% say no way am I selling. 22% said yes, home form is poor. And 18% said they'd only do it to fund a Man City attacker. So to get Aguero or Jesus in. So that is your polls. I mean, my answers would probably be game week 8 points. I mean, I got 72, so 60 plus. Game week 9 captain. I'm looking at a Man City attacker right now, but I don't know if I'll go through with that. Will I triple up on Man City? No, I'm not in a rush to get one of their defenders. And I don't think I'm going to triple on the attack. Time to sell Lukaku, I would look at it after Huddersfield. Especially if you've got a wild card. And can we really sell Kane? That's the toughest one for me to answer. I think I probably wouldn't sell. I'm probably not no way I'm selling, but I'll end up keeping out of fear. More than anything. Very boring. Oh, we hit the 100 likes, you legends. Got a few more subscribers as well. Do I keep Sterling, Sane and Silva? I don't see why you get rid of them right now. Zaha and Tony are good midfield options. Yeah, I think they're decent enough for their price. I mean, Antonio's not far off Sterling's price, or he wasn't before the last couple of price rises, so I don't know about West Ham. I always feel like they're just going to go and just do nothing every other week. I think they're quite poor, really. But Antonio probably is the best attacker to get from that team. Aiden, you're 8th in the league. Congratulations. Need to get rid of Bailly. Who should you look at bringing in? I mean, you could just bring in Jones. There's worse options than that. Morata for Lacazette. Let's wait and see on Morata. I think Lacazette's got 2 okay fixtures, but long term Morata's the best option. West Ham's fixtures are okay for the next 3. Yeah, I think Antonio is an okay pick, but I don't know. I don't know about West Ham in general. I'm afraid. Gee whiz. Did I go for a swim? I did not. I stayed in the house all day. I had a super lazy day. Literally did nothing all day. Well, a bit of cleaning, but not too much. I was actually meant to watch the Leicester game, then I fell asleep at like 8 or 20 past 9. Which is good, because I was only watching for Vardy and he didn't do anything. Joe Hart only 4.4 million now as well. Just got an assist in the last game. Oh yeah, I forget there's a Friday deadline, yeah. I'm 40th in the league for October, very nice. Yeah, I'm having an okay month so far. Happy enough. Especially as I've still got my wild card. Midfielder under 5.8. Maybe cheaper mine. I still like Hatsu though, but only for the next few weeks. Who do I think drops if Jesus and Aguero play? Probably Sane first, but I wouldn't be surprised at some point for Sterling to get a rest and Sane to play. I was actually thinking, like, it's quite funny. You know how everyone says, well, Pep Guardiola, he's got the best players, that's why he's the best manager. And those same people are probably the ones that say that Sterling's awful. And look how he's got Sterling playing. The guy scored as many goals as Aguero this year. They're actually just walking the ball into net. They're basically scoring goals how Arsenal always want to score goals. They just can't. Abraham looks okay, yeah. Can't take anything away from that man. He's doing alright at the moment. Would I consider a Jesus and Aguero double up in the next 4 weeks? I would consider it, yes. I mean, arguably, Aguero is a better option than Kane the next 4 if he's fit. Will I do it, though? Will I get rid of Kane? That's a tougher question. Oh, there you go. See, there's that kind of comment. If I played in that City team, I would score 6 goals. But he's part of that team that's doing it. Are you saying they're all carrying him? Or is he actually just playing well and maybe a better player than we ever gave him credit for? I love the run from Walker for the first goal. Lukaku to Aguero or hold? I would hold this week. De Bruyne deserved to get more points than he did on Saturday. If there was a man in the stand, De Bruyne would have got 3 bonus points, that's for sure. If money was not an issue, what would your current front 3 be? Probably, if they were all fit, I think for this week, Aguero, Morata, Lukaku looks good. Thoughts on Walker as an option, waste of a seat spot. I don't think it's a waste, but he's quite expensive. I know he's almost playing like an attacker, but I don't know, he's over 6.5 million, isn't he? Barbara Smith is the most unsexy name. Thoughts on Wimmer at 4.4? Yeah, I mean, he was touted as like the next player we'd all be getting in for only 4.4, but I don't know. Not for me right now. Got subbed in the last game. I mean, they were getting battered, to be fair. So maybe we wanted to change up and around. When will Morata be back? Well, they're hoping they'll be ready for Champions League, so just wait and see. Anyone else refuse to watch Match of the Day if their team loses? Nah, not really. But I just don't watch Match of the Day a lot. I really should. Should make an effort to catch up on it. I'm just playing so much FIFA at the moment. Completed my 40 games in the weekend league again this weekend. 23 wins. Do I know what the new price change rule is? No, I don't. Didn't even know there was a new rule. Cheers, Jeff. Catch you next time. And cheers for the donation, appreciated. Yeah, just say this before I forget. Just thanks to Alexander Hager for the sponsor. He sponsored 2 days ago, so when we were offline. Yanks for the $1 donation, Jeff for the £2 donation, and a little bit of everything for the €2 donation. Lots of different currencies today. Did I say cheers, Jeff, today? I'm always saying cheers. Not really heard much on Bailly, no. Maybe he's got a niggling injury. It's keeping him out. Mourinho just doesn't want to say it. Thursday poll session. Who of 5 choices will be the highest point scorer? Yeah, I could do that. Would you want 5 of the same position though, or like 5 midfielders, 5 forwards, or different? I guess different. Am I confident Vardy will score against Swansea? No. I'm a bit annoyed that I have to play Norton. I'm tempted actually. People were asking me about transfer earlier. I'm tempted to do Sutner to a 4.5. But I don't know who. It's a shame Burnley have got a poor fixture this week. Don't think there really is anyone I can bring in. Maybe a Stoke defender. Nah, there's not really anyone I can bring in, is there? Probably just going to go with it and just let Norton play against Vardy. FPL statistics reckon they've cracked one of the new rules. Both test cases fell last night, King and Chilwell. Okay, that's cool. I like FPL statistics, so hopefully that's right. Well, that's good. Let's hope they can be more accurate, help us out. Although I guess FPL could just change the algorithm. Do 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 do. Do I play Kolasinac against Everton away? Probably, yeah, unless you've got a really good defence so you can play others. Daniels is close to 4.8 million. That would be nice. But I can't afford him, I don't think. I got 0.3, so the most I can spend is 4.7 if I get rid of Sutner. I could get rid of Norton, but I could get rid of Norton. Don't know, we'll see. I think if you're replacing Ali, you've probably got to look at Man City mids right now. Just pick one. Well, that's not true, is it? But I like... Well, I've got Sterling now. I'm happy with him. I think Silva's probably still the most reliable option. Southampton on Newcastle defenders for game week 9. Let me remind myself who they're playing. West Brom at home for Southampton. Crystal Palace at home for Newcastle. I'd probably opt for Southampton defenders in that one. I think West Brom... Crystal Palace have looked poor. I know they've not scored many goals, but Zaha's back now. And I think Southampton defence is probably a little stronger generally than Newcastle. Any chance of me selling Davis this week? Not unless he's confirmed out, to be honest. Yeah, I'm probably looking towards big 3 up top, to be honest. Like I said, Vardy was just a default pick for me. Obviously, he could do well over the next 2 games. That might change my opinion, but I'm already annoyed with him. Didn't take very long. Yoshida's now nailed with the armband. I mean, he does seem to be the first choice with Van Dijk right now, but they've got Stevens and Hoyt there who could come in, especially over Christmas. But yeah, Yoshida's looking good. If I had Alonso, would I get rid? I don't know if I would right now. Who would I downgrade for the big three? That's a good question. Maybe Kane. Maybe get Morata and Lukaku in. The problem is I don't want Lukaku for the next 3 fixtures. So it'd probably be a longer term move for me. And then there's Aguero to worry about as well. So I don't know how early I'd make that move. But when I find a wildcard, I might do it. If I have to downgrade someone, then I'd have to see how Salah and Eriksen are doing at the time. But maybe Sterling if he's being rotated. Any chance you won't actually wildcard before the new year? No, I'll 100% use it because there'll always be like a goalkeeper to change around or the bench to change around, something like that. But I'm not going to rush into it if I don't need it. Alright, anyway lads, I think we're going to leave it there now. We're coming up to like the hour and a quarter mark. Unfortunately, unlike today, the hurricane is not coming, so I have to go to work tomorrow. So we're going to leave it there. Plus I'm going to record the preview, I think. The review for the week and talk about some of these points in a shorter form video. So thanks everyone for watching. Apologies if I didn't get to your question. There's been quite a few as usual. Over 300 people watching now, so make sure to hit that like button if you've enjoyed the stream. It'd be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. That'll let you know when I'm next going live, which I'm telling you now will be Thursday. And I should have a review and preview in between if you want to watch the shorter videos. What else was I going to say? Yeah, thanks again to Jeff, a little bit of everything, Yanks and Alexander for sponsors and donations. Much appreciated. Is the Shane Long picture going to the new house? Yes, absolutely. I don't know what the setup's going to look like in the new house yet. There's a lot to sort out. We'll worry about that when I get there anyway. Cheers for all the concerns about the hurricane. Like I said, I didn't get hit much, to be honest. A lot of people had it much worse than we did. Hopefully that'll be the same when I get up in the morning. But yeah, cheers for tuning in. We'll see you very soon. Only a few days away until the Friday deadline this week. So we'll talk more on Thursday. Make sure to bring your questions. We'll go through them. Will I be getting rid of Kane? Seems unlikely, but you never know. Right, I'll leave it there. Cheers, everybody.